Welcome into Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. This one is a legit morning brew. We didn't feel like doing it late at night after the Boston Bruins lose at Honda Center in Anaheim 4-3. It wasn't a brutally late night, but it was late enough that I think we needed to try to get some sleep. Both of us had early mornings as well today. Ended up being an exciting game, folks, in the sense of a lot of action, a fair amount of offense. Like I said, 7 goals. But in the end, a disappointing result as far as I'm concerned. And we'll get Razor's opinion in a minute here as well. Welcome in again, Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. Today, presented by Copeland Automotive Group, Sunset Lake CBD, Fazenda Coffee, and Sparks. We'll touch on them a little bit. Razor, in my eyes, it was a fun game. I mean, if you're going to stay up late, have some excitement. The start wasn't great. Again, Bruins down 6.5 minutes into the game, 2-0. But this team's got a lot of fight in it. They come back down 2-0, 3-1. They tied up 3-3, only to give up a goal late in the third to a guy you really wouldn't expect it to, Ian Moore, but we'll get to that. But overall, right? Fun game overall.
It was a great hockey game. It was up and down. It was exciting. You had 72 shots on goal. Just felt like it's 72 chances on goal, 30 each for each team. Goalies were awesome. Just a great new age National Hockey League game. The difference being most of those kind of games, one of the teams or both teams find a way to get to overtime, and you get an overtime game, and that's where the bad taste in our mouth is at 1:15 in the morning.
Yeah, both very disappointed, and the Bruins, Marco Sturm, very disappointed. Marco had some pretty strong words post game, Razor. I don't say a subtle way, in a wonderfully controlled, direct way in his interview with Brick. And paraphrasing, if guys aren't defending or don't want to defend. I mean, it was interesting how he phrased it there, that, that basically there would be, ramifications.
Yeah. So, Sturm is proving that he's very direct and very honest in these interviews and how he is speaking to the media or through the media to his players. There's no love lost. And I think the other thing is we know for sure is that defense is first, second, third, maybe even fourth to Marco Sturm. He does not believe that you can succeed in this league without having structure and defense and closing games out with defense, not winning 6-5. There is no philosophy in his head anywhere that believes that. And so he's brought that up all the time. And then last night he brings up, you have to want to play defense, or you have to put effort into playing defense, something along those lines. And that goes to them finishing the game out. And that becomes directed at certain players. I don't know which ones. I don't think he'll give clarity on that, but he will to them in the dressing room today or tomorrow.
No question about it. It was a bus ride from Anaheim to LA after the game. So it wasn't a very late night for the guys at all. No. It was a very easy night, in fact, as far as travel in the NHL goes. So they'll have some type of get together today. I don't know if they're on the ice or not, regardless. I agree. It wasn't, to me, that comment wasn't about lack of structured defense. It wasn't guys not playing the system. I think it was actually guys battling their asses off defending at certain times. I think. Would you agree? That was my take. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. It was much less structure than just getting the result at the end of the night. Like whatever it takes to find a way to get a result defensively. That's what I think he missed. Yes.
So 2.5 minutes into the game, Harkins, fourth line center out there, gets his second goal of the season. Big Ross Johnston and Nikita Nesterenko, former BC Eagle, who only gets assists against the Bruins. What do you have? 3-4 points, I think, in the first time these guys played earlier in October. He gets another assist. It's a play that starts low to high. It's a good keeping at the left point for Anaheim. The Bruins were outworked on this play in many ways. Harkins ends up being alone in front of the net because Hampus Lindholm, had his stick gone, and then Yoki Haru overreacted and went to the same guy that to Johnston that Hampus was already with, and that ends up leaving Harkins more or less alone in front of the net for a carom rebound. It was not a great start. I mean, how's that for obvious analysis for the team? And you're out there, and it's the fourth line for Anaheim, but we give the Bruins fourth lines credit. This fourth line has come to play recently for Joe Quenneville's squad.
There's no question about that. And, surprisingly that, a guy like Nestorenko has 7 assists. I was shocked to see that last night. I mentioned on the broadcast. And they're a big, heavy line. They've got it does look similar to a Bruins fourth line where you have a guy like Johnson who is big and physical and tough and can fight anybody. And then you have a Harkins who gets under the skin of guys and a little bit of an antagonizer, but also has some skill, like Isimont. And then you have the more of a skilled long player in Nestorenko. So it's well constructed, and it got Bruins early. 2.5 minutes in, they got him.
6.5 minutes in, Radko Gudas gets his first of the year. Ducks captain, who's been out for a bit, comes back, and he ends up getting a slap shot from the right point, just inside the right point, a little to the left of that. Mason McTavish, who had a big game in this one, and Seneca with the assists. McTavish's pass to Gudas, it's a quasi one-timer. Who did it? I don't remember who it deflected off of. For Mitten, thank you. Yes, in front of the net. There's no chance on that one from Korpisalo. I mean, that was it wasn't like he picked a corner, but the puck ended up getting to the corner because of the elevation off of the redirection. And goaltenders there, you correct me if I'm wrong, or you tell me, just are hoping for the puck to hit him in that case, right?
100%. It has to hit you, or it has to go wide. If you're not reacting to it, that's for sure. That's physically impossible to react.
So you're down 2-0.
Yeah, you're nervous there, right? We're like, oh no.
Yeah, we're like, oh, come on. Like, first game of a road trip. We know with only one day off. You played Monday, not a great game. You travel cross country Tuesday. You're getting in. We're thinking the guys are tired. We only human, right? And they're kind of playing like it. But they had also got a few chances before that second goal, but really started pouring it on 5-on-5 chances in the first period. And really some great saves. And I guess a sign of things to come as the goaltender Dostal for the Anaheim Ducks started to put on clinic. Like, he started to make some big saves early on in this game. You could tell he was focused. He's, as you called him, he's their new guy, big new age goaltender for them. I guess he was going to end up being one of the stories of the game. It took the Bruins until the 15-minute mark to end up scoring a goal on the power play. But before that, they were the much better team, Razor, creating chances, middle of ice chances.
They did. They did a great job bouncing back. They did an unbelievable job staying resilient like they have all season. They did it again in Anaheim. They kept pushing and didn't get frustrated and were able to punch one in to make it 2-1. But they had more than enough opportunities. And if not for a bad tip or an unlucky tip on one, it should have been 2 or 3-1 the other way. No question.
Yeah, it ends up being a great first period, even though the Bruins are down 2-1. It's Morgan Geekie who gets the power play goal. We thought perhaps that Mate Blumel got it because the shot from Geekie mid-slot goes off the left leg, off the body, and then it goes through Dostal and hits his end of his pad, of his left pad. Blumel from the right side. It's a good play by the kid, too. He comes in. He doesn't stay too wide. Comes in, and he swats the puck, but the puck had actually gone off the glove, the back part of the glove of Dostal, knocked it into his own net. Blumel does touch it, but it's after. Puck's already in there. So anyways, Blumel kind of celebrated like he scored in my eyes.
He sure did.
And Geekie picked up the puck like he scored. But Morgan Geekie ends up getting his 13th goal of the season. Hampus Lindholm and Pavel Zacha with the assist. So 2-1, the score. 18-11 were shots. And of those 18 shots, 7, 8, maybe even 9 were what I would consider high danger. Bruins kept moving puck to the middle of the ice. They did a good job. I like this Ducks team, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here because they're fun. But defensively, would you agree that their structure is still, it's not where Joel Quenneville wants it? I think that's pretty obvious.
No, it's not. It's leaky. And the Bruins did a great job taking advantage of it. They really did get to the inside. You had the telestrator going early before the game and talking about the open ice in the middle of the defensive zone. The Bruins, I thought, exploited that pretty well. They got a ton of opportunities through that. And yeah, the Anaheim Ducks are a cool, sexy, fun team, but they've got a lot of work to do to become a contender at this point, for sure.
2-1 the score, you end to 1. 13:47 into the second period after numerous Boston Bruins chances. You have a much better clear view memory of than I do. You got 2 or 3 great chances. Like I'm trying to. I mean, there was a ton. Again, there were not as many volume shots by the Bruins, but some great chances.
No, that's right. Yeah, and then you had the 2-0 in the first, and then in the second you
Steves
had
and Zadorov on the 2-0.
yeah, and then
Yep.
right out of the gates, it was the first 5 minutes of that second period where the Bruins continued to come out. Where you said in the green room, wow, they've certainly come out for the second as well. Good cycles in the offensive zone, and just a really, if not for Dostal, it's 4-1 at that point, 5-1 at that point.
He keeps him in the game, and it becomes 3-1 on the power play. Ryan Strome, his first of the season, he's been out injured. McTavish with another point, Cutter Gauthier as well. McTavish gets the puck at the left point, and as soon as he gets it on the power play, he's already thinking, I'm going to do a slap pass to my guy Strome, who 8 feet to the side of the net, probably. He's a right shot. So it's not a one-timer or anything where he is, because his back is kind of turned. It's a backhand tip that was absolutely gorgeous. So imagine you get a guy who gets the puck back at the point, folks, and instead of stopping it, stick handling, he gets it, and he slap passes it hard down, but it's wide of the net. So in theory, it seems not harmless, but it doesn't seem like a direct chance. Yet next thing you know, the puck is ramped off the backhand of Strome, 6 to 8 feet off to the blocker side of Korpisalo, and he tickets for the upper corner. We talked on the air, and you talked about that. You thought Korpisalo played that as well, the right way to do. So what can you do there? Is it just not get lucky, but just have the puck hit you there?
Yeah, or go over the net. It's tip of the cap. I mean, that hits 6 inches of space over the shoulder of Korpisalo, right in the top, off of a tip on, like you said, a right-handed shot. So he backhanded. It was just a National Hockey League play by Strome. And again, I wouldn't want Korpisalo playing it any more aggressive. He goes into his post like we always talk about. And again, tip of the hat sometimes in the league.
Is that frustrating for a goalie from a shot like that? You're just like, how did that or you say, hey, goals are going to be scored, and that wasn't lucky. That ended up being a great play. How does that for you? How does that make you feel?
Well, I think when you compound it with the first period where you get the slapper that goes off one of your guys' pads, you're like, geez, I feel great. I'm making saves, and I've given up 3 goals now with 6 minutes left in the second. I feel better than this. So, but on that play initial, especially that goal, especially you're more, the goals are going to go in. You just look at the next one. You really don't think about that one too much at all as a goaltender. Those are going to go in.
It was a sweet tip. I mean, that's what I look at. I'm like, that's
awesome.
Pretty special right there. So that's 13:47 into the second period. It's now 3-1 Ducks, but the Bruins continue to push. Michael Eyssimont on a drive with down the right side, skating down the right side, puts the puck, ends up going, it felt like through the 5-hole of Dostal, but you caught what it ended up being. As on the back check, Zellweger, young defenseman for the Anaheim Ducks, has to put on the brakes as he's scrambling to get back. And who was it? Zadorov made the beautiful pass after a nice rush up the ice. He actually gets all the way back just inside his own blue line, makes a cross ice, left side to right wing pass to Eyssimont. And who does Eyssimont go in with on the 2-on-1 there? Viel drives net, but he stays wide. He doesn't go to the front. And you said, this is why do you think the goal went in? I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, and you get, there was snow flying everywhere. VL ended up shooting up a bunch of snow, stopping hard to the back post, like you said, and that didn't make sense that it would have got Dostal. And then you see from the back view that Zellweger, just his defenseman, absolutely scorches him with a snow shower right as Eysimont's about to shoot. So completely loses track of the puck, ends up going just underneath him. Not a good goal at first look, but you see the replay and you understand that he didn't even see it. Literally, like driving on the Mass Pike in a snowstorm, you see 3 feet in front of your face. You have no chance of avoiding the crash. That's exactly the same thing that happened to Dostal, and the Bruins got a good break, but also a great play by Eyssimont and a huge goal at the late in the second.
If a Bruin player had snow showered him unintentionally, is there any? There's no penalty for that.
No,
now, if you do it intentionally when a goalie's freezing the puck, you can be called for an unsportsmanlike conduct there. But in the depth of a play, there's nothing, right?
No, I haven't really. I don't recall. I think though too. Like if Viel had went right to in front of his face and like sprayed him intentionally,
Right.
there would be an issue there as well. But no, you're not gonna. You can't do anything if he goes back post and sprays, and some of the snow gets in his face either. So no penalties there. It's a good play sometimes. Actually.
Zellweger couldn't. I mean, he was coming back hard to get back to try and take away middle ice that pass.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Well,
this God, have you ever gotten one like that? Have you ever had a goal scored on you because
uh,
you get showered?
yeah, I feel like it does kind of happen to everybody once or twice. I don't recall the exact scenario, but there's times where ice or snow is kind of flying around.
Mm-hmm.
The big reason why Zellweger had to do that too, because Easymont made a great pull up move, so that threw the timing off of everything. If he goes like you said, Zellweger has to cover VL, but as he pulls up, now he has to stop. And so the timing of that as well. So give Easymont credit for making that happen too.
So the Bruins get a huge goal, feeling good. Again, playing well. Just 12 shots in the second after 18 in the first. So 30 shots through 2 periods, only 19 for Anaheim. Bruins doing, a good job. It's again, fun, energy going on there. The Bruins are going to end up tying it, 7:39 of the third period. It's Morgan Geekie's 14th off of a face-off where David Pastrnak and Hampus Lindholm get involved. Lindholm at the second assist. Pastrnak gets it on the kind of the top left side circle, just to the outside of it, sends that pass. It's a hard pass, and it's not a tip from low or mid. It's almost like mid upper slot. It was a tip redirection from distance by Morgan Geekie. He presents his shot, his stick beautifully. He's a right shot. So Pastrnak from the left side gets it, bullet pass. And we talked about it. You mentioned how hard David can pass the puck. This was hard, but in the perfect spot, a redirection, just as Geekie opens up his hands, opens up the blade, just kisses the puck. That's all it does. It's not like this top shelf redirection. It's actually on the ice, and it catches Dostal almost by surprise a little bit, because he's probably thinking, I got a guy mid, I got a guy low slot. Is he going cross seam? And as he didn't make Dostal look bad by any stretch, but it's like, it goes to show how subtlety that these little subtleties that these guys can do can make all the difference in the world.
That's right. That's why the power play's cooking the way it is. They're automatic at this point, and it's the subtleties. And Blumel's crashing the back post, so does that. As a goaltender, you're probably more reading that play. You see Blumel coming, you're reading that, and then that little tip by Geekie just throws off your timing. And as long as that tip gets on net, it's going to cause a lot of chaos. It's going to go in, or it's going to create a juicy rebound because the goalie has no chance of, similar to Minton, the tip by Gudis, I guess I should say. Like, you're just hoping you get hit with it because you can't react. You can't really move properly. You're going one way and reading something else. So just a real nice face-off play that was drawn up perfectly by those guys and executed really well too.
All right. So what happens after this, the 7:39 mark? The Bruins tie it up. And for the next, 5, 6, maybe even 7 minutes, did they just work so hard to get back? And then once they're back, this is where they really lost their defensive battle and their mindset, in my opinion. And next thing you know, Anaheim's pouring it on. They end up with 14 shots in the third period. At 16:25, it's going to be the kid from Harvard, Ian Moore, Concord, grew up there, born in Salt Lake, but moves to Mass. And Ian Moore gets his second goal of the season off the deflection from Steves, who's too close, right in the middle in front of Korpisalo. Goes off his shin pads. I think it actually goes through his legs, right? And it goes past Korpisalo. But before that, Razor, what happened? Where did the Bruins mentality go after working so damn hard to get this one back? And as you said, to get at least a point.
No, exactly. And I think probably more likely than not, a lot of it's on the other side of the ice. Anaheim was, holding on, and then they got a fire lit under them, but they had more energy. Because again, when you're chasing games in the National Hockey League, we say it all the time, you say it all the time, it takes a lot out of you to chase. It's so much easier to let the game come to you when you have a 2-goal lead, or you have a goal lead going into the third. Like, it's just easier to play that way rather than pushing all the time. And I think a lot of that was just, okay, Anaheim turned it up. The Bruins got back into it. We've seen the same thing happen in Anaheim on Thursday. Almost identical happened in Ottawa on Thursday night a week ago, where they fight hard to get back into it. But then your margin is so thin. You have to have 5, 6, 7 perfect shifts to finish the game out to get it to overtime. And unfortunately, the Bruins have dropped at least 2 points here in the last 6 days from not being able to finish out. Last night was the case. So Anaheim pushed, but the Bruins didn't have enough commitment. And that's, I think, what we heard Sturm talk about after the game.
39-30 were 33 were the shots on goal in favor of the Bruins. Jeffrey Viel had 6 before he had to leave the game. We'll touch on that in a moment. Nikita Zadorov had 7 shots in the game. Big Nikita, again, really, really good. Bruins dominate the faceoff circle 33-24, but they lose the game 4-3 when it's all said and done. It's a disappointing loss, or, given where they were at. It's just a shame. Let's recognize our sponsors right here. We'll start with Copeland Automotive Group. You can count on Copeland just like Razor counts on Copeland for his cars. Love Todd Copeland, and not just his family of dealerships, but I love his family as well. He's got 5 dealerships right now. Starts with the Toyota. He's got the Chevy. He's got Subaru. He's got 5 of them. Go to countoncopeland.com to check out his locations and look for all the deals they got. New cars, used cars. You can count on Copeland to find your next car. Razor, you love the service you get there. You trust them more than anything. I mean, don't believe me. Look at this guy. I mean, look at Razor, or listen to Razor and count on Copeland. I know that I love Todd Copeland and his dealerships too. It's just amazing what they've done there. We also love Sunset Lake CBD. The Sunset Lake people are just fantastic. They love their Boston Bruins. They love hockey in general, but they love their Boston Bruins, and they love giving special deals. It's Black Friday time for them already. 30% off site-wide. You're going to use the code Friday25, Friday, Friday25, no spaces. All right, Razor. Use that, and over $125, unlock a free citrus flavored 750 milligram CBD tincture. And listen, these are all natural products, whether it's the tinctures, the gummies, the drinks, the teas, it's just phenomenal. They want to make sure that you get your orders in now. The holidays are coming up. Less daylight, more stress. Go visit sunsetLakeCBD.com/morningbrew and use the code Friday25. And here's the other thing, Razor, you've experienced this too, right? You can ask them questions online and they get back to you, right? It's fantastic.
Oh, the service is unbelievable. It's second to none. And the guys are so smart and so knowledgeable with what you're doing, and they can direct you with exactly what you want and what the result you want from them.
sunsetlakecbd.com/morningbrew. Use the code Friday25. No spaces there. Fazenda Coffee. Go to fazendacoffee.com. They are the coffee of Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. I had a nice cup after skating this morning. I'm trying to pretend I can still skate with this. Like, I don't know what I did, Razor, some kind of abdominal thing. But the best part of the morning was my Fazenda. When I got home, they have a nice cup of coffee, the Morning Brew blend, dark, strong, but smooth. Fazenda Coffee, where you can get hats. You can also get the Morning Brew Clean Canteen. Go to fazendacoffee.com/morningbrew. And finally, Sparks. I mean, even though the Bruins lost, who would we give the spark of the game to from last night? Who would you want to give the spark of the game?
First two thoughts is Korpisalo for his saves in the third, or Geeky,
yeah,
2 goals. 2 goals leading the league again. Jeez, sneaky geeky. I got it. So yeah, that's the one.
I mean, how is he? I don't want to say how's he doing it. I mean, but he's just a continuation of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is really impressive. And I know we talked about it last game, but man, oh man, or last brew. I mean, I just think that this is worth mentioning again. This guy is an absolute revelation, and it should be a lesson to other players and other teams out there. Give guys chances, right? Give them a chance.
100%. And take your chance. There's guys in this lineup. Listen, this is 2 games in a row where the Bruins are decimated. They've got a lot of guys out of the lineup. Take your opportunity like Morgan Geekie did last year. That's the message from the coaching staff today and tomorrow morning on this road trip, because there's opportunities all the time. And we talk about it. It happens every year out of training camp. This, that. You have to make yourself an NHLer. And that's what Morgan Geekie, he was an NHLer, but Morgan Geekie's taken himself to all-star level. Not superstar yet, all-star level though. And leading the league again. The big thing, we've talked about it a million times, he can beat goaltenders with his shot. There's not many guys that can do it consistently. He is one of them. And the fact that he's playing with David Pastrnak, another guy who can beat goalies with a shot, they just have a great chemistry and a great ability to find each other open.
He wanted more from Seattle. When he wanted more, he wanted to play up the line. And it wasn't like petulant, but that's where he felt, he could do more. And he didn't get it, that chance there. He ends up being available for the Bruins in a free agent contract. And boy, has he absolutely been a revelation. Good for him. So yeah, 2 goals in the game. We'll give him our spark of the game. Check out sparkshockey.com right now. Limited edition holiday bundles for just $999. They're also doing $100 off other bundles. Go to sparkshockey.com for the finest at-home skate sharpener that you can find. And I need mine desperately. My left edge went out. I don't know why. Now I have an excuse for why I sucked. Okay,
yeah,
how about that?
Between the abdomen and the left skate, you really got it covered.
It was awful. All right, a couple of other things before we wrap up this show. Jeffrey Viel goes out what we assume would be concussion after getting into a quick scrap with Radko Gudas after Gudas comes across stepping up and hits Michael Eyssimont in the neutral zone early the 3rd period. No call was made on the Gudas play. You know what? It could have been interference. It could have been, what would you say? Maybe a trip. If you want to manage the game, I slowed it down. I didn't see knee on knee. Did you happen to?
No knee on knee.
I didn't see that. Okay. No. But it could have, there's a game management theory there. You could have called, but there wasn't. But right away, Viel got into a fight. What we didn't love was how Gudas didn't really fight so much as he ends up, and he is so strong. Pound for pound, one of the strongest dudes in the NHL. How he ends up basically throwing down Jeffrey Viel, who's in a vulnerable spot, and he hits the back of his head on the ice, thankfully with his helmet on, but you could still see that he was not in good stead.
No, he wasn't. Yeah. Listen, I get it. Somebody's trying to punch you in the head and someone comes over on the ice and you want to take them down. It's just when the refs are in there, when you go to the ice, you as an NHL player, you understand what kind of damage both of you can do to each other going to the ice. And you see a lot of the times each other hold each other up just a little bit as you're going to the ground. Gudas did anything but that. I thought he put all of his weight on top of Viel. Again, heat of the moment. I would be as dirty as anyone in a fight. So, I wouldn't say that you can't say it, but it wasn't a good look. And it was certainly something that, poor Viel, because you're completely helpless. So
helpless.
Thank God he had his helmet on. Like you said, if he doesn't, we've got a whole nother story going on right now, but hopefully it's not too long and too punishable.
But you could tell that it wasn't great. Riley Tufte's already on the trip. We'll hopefully, maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow, get an update on Jeffrey. Got to think somebody else will come up. They changed D pairs before the game. The one pair of Henry Jokiharju and Hampus Lindholm ended up a -3 in the game. I know plus minuses and everything, but it can be telling. I didn't love some of the game from Jokiharju. Would surprise you if we saw a change with again and Michael Callahan, who's the extra defenseman, come in and perhaps take a spot.
Yeah, I could see that happening. And I think just as much as anything, I think he would complement Lindholm a little better. And so Lowry and Peak were very good. Give those two guys, like Mason did a good job again. And then Zadorov's just been awesome. It's really, really been really impressive. So
And
now,
Aspero, handled himself. He
yeah,
played almost 20 minutes, bud, in
yeah,
that game, and he had 3 blocks and he had 3 hits. And so, to his credit, he took that spot on the right side, his offside,
mhm.
and I thought did a nice enough job too. Yeah,
No,
I thought,
exactly, and that just fit the pair, and I think I can see a vision in my head where Callahan stay at home more, a little more steady, let's hit Lindholm just go. Hampus is going to do his own thing. Hampus does Hampus things. You need a guy steady, so I could see Callahan jumping in for Yoki Haru. He's
I just
having a
wonder
hard
about
time right now. It's not
he's
clicking. He's been out of the lineup, and
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, and it's just off a bit, and I don't know. I think it is time for a change, and meaning after this game to see what you can. I just wonder if left shot. I don't know about Callahan's ability to play the right side regularly.
No.
Not sure. He might do it down in Providence. So my ignorance, forgive me, folks, if somebody knows.
yeah.
That
Well, either way, it's just you don't want 5 lefties.
true.
Like you just don't really want to have 5 lefties. It just puts you. It goes against conventional wisdom. And if Yoki Haru is back in, that's probably more of the reason than anything else.
Yeah. All right. Bruins have the day off. No game today. Again, they're in LA to play the LA Kings, who have gotten, much better. They play beautifully on the road. Okay. Not so great at home, though. Let's see if the Bruins can turn things around. We'll see if there's a call up coming up. There's other things we could maybe get to, but I think we covered it all. There's more of a game recap, Brew, since it was a late night game, folks. We hope you enjoy this one. Razor's got stuff to do. RC's got a ton of stuff to do. So we're going to wrap this one up. Razor, you and I will do Saturday Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. First live on WEEI, 8 to 9 a.m. live on Saturday, and then we'll have it out as a podcast after that. Ryan, thanks for all of your help. Razor, thanks for all of your insight. Fantastic to see you. Glad you got your business taken care of this morning. And let's hope for a Bruins victory after tomorrow night. 10:30 game, 9:30 pregame on NESN. Bruins at LA. This is going to wrap up this Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. Everybody, enjoy your coffee.